Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has come we waited so long for.
With me now I have the well-known Philip Avons, who has produced some wonderful kits in his time, particularly of aircraft like the cornerstone of many jet modelers' fleets, the F15. Philip is also technical advisor to the IGMC and of course won the under 13.5 kilo class in Dayton last year with a quite exquisite Fouga Magister, which is a model of an aircraft he's actually flown. One of the interesting things about Philip is he's a former Belgian Air Force pilot. And there are 4 aircraft here: the Manchester, the F104, the F16, and what's the other one, Philip?
The second Fouga Magister.
Second Fouga Magister, all of which Philip flew in his days in the Belgian Air Force. But Philip, as I say, won last year in the 13.5 kilo class in Dayton with this exquisite Fouga Magister. And it's here again this year with 1 or 2 changes, Philip.
Yeah, the most important change is the engine change. I now have a British-made Ren 100 turbine in it, which replaced the Grabner G-Booster 80 I had before, so I have about 20% more power. Unfortunately, the plan was to do a lot of practice flying before coming here, but I lost the airplane in it was badly damaged in a crash following a fuel filter contamination. And it was badly damaged. The whole nose section was broken, so I had to rebuild the front fuselage, including all the scale details, because it happened at the contest, at the F4C scale contest. And and the model was only finished 1 day before leaving for Switzerland, like most other people tend to do, to work against a deadline. So I didn't have the opportunity to test the flight behavior with the Ren 100. And it's only over here that I could do a first test flight after the reparations and also with the new turbine. But I'm very happy with the new turbine because it gives me about 20% more power. Yesterday during my first competition flight I was a bit surprised to have that much power because at a certain moment my helper said to me, "Philip, fly a bit slower," because
Yes.
I was used to keep full power between the vertical maneuvers to keep the energy in the airframe, like you would do on a full-size Fouga Magister, but with the thrust-to-weight ratio, which has gone up, I don't need to do that anymore, so it's getting a little bit more used to. And another thing that I noticed is that I have a bit more residual thrust also at idle, so on landing approach I was reducing the throttle and I said, okay, now I have to pull idle, but I was already at idle.
Yes,
so,
yes.
And that made me a little ballooning on the landing, but otherwise the flight was okay, and I'm sure that in a couple of flights I will be fully confident with the combination, and we'll do a lot better.
Vitaly Robertus is here in Meiringen with his new Yak 130. Vitaly, you are the defending Jet World Master, and last year we saw your Yak 130 and you blew us away with it with such an amazing model. But this year you've done even more. Tell us about what you've done.
Yeah, but after Jet World Master in the United States, I thought, what should we do for next competition? It's very difficult to make new model. It's not possible, a lot of work, but it's I decided to make not so big, but upgrades of this model before upgrades. But after I decided it's no way to upgrade. It's one way to make new model. It's easier because all molds are ready for. It's reduced time for building. But the main idea was to make model with low weight, as low as possible.
Well, Vitaly Robertus is about to fly now with this amazing Yak 130. Of course, this aircraft won at Dayton last year in the United States and raised the bar to an unbelievable level. However, it is said that he has actually improved the model even further this time. We know that it has one improvement, that's a moving pilot's head and pilot body. So it's a very realistic looking model. See the strobe light flashing on top and bottom of the aeroplane. Navigation lights are on and flashing, and very soon he will taxi out into position, ready for takeoff. 2 JetCat 100s power this aircraft, and the most amazing thing perhaps in my view is that he managed to get the aircraft's total weight down to 20 kilos without fuel, because it's a complex machine. With me now I have Winnie Olgart, who has been the mastermind behind the Jet World Masters since its inception, and of course masterminds that wonderful event called Jet Power. But Winnie, here we are in Meiringen in Switzerland. To me it is the most exquisite location to have a Jet Masters meeting, and I'm absolutely having a ball. Give us your views and impressions on it so far.
Well, for us a dream has come true for the IGMC to make a Jet World Masters on a real airbase like this, and I was here for the first inspection with it, and I saw 2 F-18s take off with afterburner in this valley here, and it was amazing, and I was at that time very, very sure it will be the best one we ever had.
With me Fritz Keller of the Swiss team flying this beautiful Hawker Hunter in markings of the Swiss Air Force. Fritz, tell us a little bit about your aeroplane, please.
Ist ein Flugzeug, das die Schweizer Armee...
This is used to be a Hawker Hunter from the Swiss Armed Forces.
Yes.
Swiss Air Force. It was in service during a very long time, starting in the 50s. And I think it was in service more than 30, almost 40 years. And this aircraft has the color scheme of the Patrouille Suisse, which you mostly see on the bottom.
Das Modell ist uns so weit ans Herz gewachsen.
They really, really love this airplane. It's their own construction, his and Roger Thomas' own construction. There is a kit available today, but they really built it from scratch.
Für uns fliegen, und wir haben es darum gebaut, und es ist ein Eigenbau. Es gab damals keinen Bausatz. Mein Kollege Roger hat das ganze Fahrwerk konstruiert und bauen lassen, und das ganze Flugzeug wurde von ihm selber gebaut. Also nicht gekauft in dem Sinn, dass ein Bausatz ist.